Hey y'all, hey, what's up? Happy Friday. So let's talk about how your boundaries will increase your net worth. And if you don't know what net worth is, those are your assets, that liquid cash you have available to you. So if you have healthy, strong boundaries that you can commit to, that you can set and follow through on, I'm telling you, your net worth is going to increase significantly. So let's talk about what that looks like. But before I go too much further, I am Nashaya Richardson, the Play Money Coach, and I work with high achieving women who want to manage their money like a boss so they have more play money to do the things they enjoy, like travel debt free or go shopping guilt free, right? So, all those things. So, let's talk about the boundaries that we have with ourselves, with other people, and how they can really increase our net worth. Now, I did not like plan anything, like any bullet points. So, y'all, I might go a little off because this is a topic that I think that we have to really talk about, especially us women, because sometimes those boundaries are not enforced because we are nurturers, we're people pleasers, we're the person that wants to make sure everyone is good. And in turn, that jeopardizes our finances. And if any of this is hitting home for you, put a one in the comment, right? Because I know for me personally, that was the thing that put me into struggle life, paycheck to paycheck, having repossessions on my credit report, no money in my savings account, right? Helping everyone else when I didn't even have what I needed so that I could be financially secure and feel confident about my finances. So let's talk about what that could look like. And I actually asked this question earlier about what is harder for people to have financial boundaries with themselves or financial boundaries with their family. And most people, what do you guys think they said? Themselves or their family? I'll give you like 2 seconds to respond to that. So for most people, it was their family. And when I asked the question of like, why do you feel like you can't set boundaries with your family? It was because, some of the things that came up is, oh, they get mad at me. They'll get mad at me if I tell them no, I can't help them financially, right? Or they give me the puppy dog eyes, and I feel like they give me the sappy eyes or the poked out lips, and then I feel bad and I feel like I got to go in and do the thing. Or I just like to help people, and I like that's something that I like to do. Now, when I talk about setting boundaries, I want you to understand that it's totally okay to help people if that is something that truly lights you up. But I also want to invite you to make sure that you are good first before you go out and try to be Captain Saver, whatever. Okay? Make sure you're good. Even on the plane, they tell you put your mask on first. If the plane goes down, put your mask on before you even put it on your baby, right? Your kids. So I want you to do the same thing in your finances. Now, some of us may feel like, okay, if I don't help my family, then they're going to be mad at me, or they're going to like say that I'm greedy because I have money and I don't want to help people, or they're going to say that I'm better. I think I'm better than them. Like all these things, all of these stories that we are telling ourselves. And some of them are from our past experiences, right? We've probably had experiences where we've told someone in our family or a friend that we couldn't help them financially, and they got an attitude, or they had something to say like, well, whatever. Like, I'm sure we've heard all the things, right? So those are our experiences. Some of it is just us telling ourselves a story. So we think that if we tell them no, that we're going to be that horrible person and they're never going to talk to us again, or our family is going to look at us differently because we do have a great job or we do have money, but we have chose to not help them in that moment, right? So whatever it may be, if it's whether an experience that you have actually experienced, or is something that you are telling yourselves, I want you to really check in and see where is that coming from, and is it true? Now, let's say it is true, right? Your family does get an attitude. How are you going to address that? And how are you going to address that first, right? Can you have that conversation with your family to say, like, look, I'm in a space where I'm on my financial journey to improve my finances, whether you're trying to be debt free, save, buy a home, whatever your thing is. You really don't have to give them an explanation. But if you really feel like you want to share with them as to why you can't support them, have the conversation. And if they cannot be mature enough and accept what it is that you are telling them as the reason why you cannot support them, then maybe, just maybe, they are someone that you need to reevaluate as to whether or not you want them in to continue in your life, because they are showing that they are not supporting you in your journey, and their needs are more important than supporting you in your journey. So you might want to reevaluate that friendship, that relationship, whatever it may be, and see if this is someone you want to continue to have in your life. Now, if this is someone you're like, okay, I'm not getting rid of them, whatever, now you really need to have the conversation and again, let them know what journey you are on and ask them to, maybe they can support you in that journey, right? And show them why you are doing this, because this could also be a moment where we're breaking those generational cycles, those generational curses that we say we have when it comes to our finances. And we're saying, our family, we live paycheck to paycheck, we've lived in poverty, whatever your money story is. Now can be the time where you start breaking those generational curses and bringing your people along with you to show them that, hey, you know what? How about we get out of the cycle of every time, every week, every month, whatever, you have an emergency? How about we get into a space where we are prepared for our financial inconveniences? So we start saving, or we start stop living beyond our means, or we find ways to make more income so that we're not living paycheck to paycheck, and we can really get out of that cycle of not having enough. So now having to pull from different places or asking people for support. And within that conversation, now you can also support them on their journey. So now, even if you have different goals, now you can support each other to have a healthier relationship with your money and be better prepared, so that now they're not coming to you every time they have an emergency or whatever, because we all know they didn't know that the rent was going to not get paid and all the things. I'm sure we've heard all the stories, right? The other thing is, their emergency is not your emergency. Again, their emergency is not your emergency. So their lack of planning and preparation is not your emergency, to where you have to feel like you have to throw your life upside down because this person is now in need of financial support. Now, I know some of you are probably like, Nashaya, that's cold. You can't do that. People need our help. They need our support. I get it, right? Use your discernment, right? Use your judgment to say, like, is now the time where I need to step in and support them, right? Or can I redirect them to another resource to where they can be better prepared for next time, but I don't necessarily have to give them money, but I can maybe give them a resource that can support them to get them out of that situation without actually using my funds. Or again, helping them and saying to them, how about what we do is I help you with your budget or whatever it may be. And so that you can get in a position to where now you are prepared, so that now you don't necessarily have to keep coming to me for money. Now, some people are going to get upset with that response because they're going to be like, man, I don't need your help. They're going to say something crazy, right? And then some people are actually going to accept your support and really take that into consideration so that they can get into a better space. So again, their emergency is not your emergency. So I want you to be prepared to have those conversations so that you don't have to feel like you always have to jump up every time someone in your family or a friend reaches out to you and asks you for financial help. Now, the third thing is, if you are someone that truly likes to be there for your family, your friends, you are a giver, that is like your thing, right? And that is why you make the money that you make. That is why you're in the financial position that you're in. Or that is why, you're ready to make changes so that you can be in that position, right? There is another alternative, which is setting money aside, really creating a savings fund specifically for giving and helping, right? so that you do not have to derail your spending plan, your financial goals, all the things that you have in place so that you can help someone else. So now this is you putting your mask on first, but also taking care of the passenger next to you or your relative or your family friend or whoever it may be, right? Now, you don't have to set aside a lot of money or you can set aside as much as you want. It's really up to you, but if you are that person that truly wants to be able to help and support your family when they are in need, this is another thing that you can do to where you don't necessarily have to tell them no, right? You can say yes because you know what, I've planned for this, right? Or you can also set limits on what you're willing to give and support. Maybe you set a limit of $100 a month, or I'm only going to give, maybe your amount is 500. Maybe someone else's amount is 1,500 a month. Maybe someone else's amount is $50 a month, right? There's no specific number. It's really what feels good for you, but you can really position yourself to where you can be in position to help others without jeopardizing your finances. Um, the other part of that is the boundaries with ourselves. So we talked about the family, right? So the boundaries with ourselves. And for me, this taps into our self worth and how we feel about ourselves, whether or not we trust ourselves, and really just how we value ourselves and make commitments to ourselves. Now, sometimes people don't like to talk about this because sometimes it's like an eye opener to say, like, man, like I'm treating myself badly and I'm taking care of everyone else. Well, us high achieving women, that's what we do, right? Most of us, that's what we do, right? We make sure everyone else is good. We make sure our job is good, our business is good, our clients are good, our kids, our family, or whoever, right? Everything is a priority before us. And then we get left behind and then we're feeling depleted, right? And then what ends up happening is now we need retail therapy. So now we want to go and we want to shop and we want to buy things for ourselves because now we're telling ourselves, I deserve this. I've done all this stuff for everyone else. I deserve this. And what ends up happening is the I deserves it turns into a shopping spree that you were not planning on, and you end up spending double the amount that maybe you had set aside for shopping. So I want to invite you to put yourself first. Selfishness is not a bad word. I repeat, put it in the comments. Selfishness is not a bad word. It is okay to put yourself first so that then you can be your most empowered, strong self for everyone else in your life. That is the part that sometimes we miss. We say, like, oh, I want to be this person or I want to do all these things, but without you, those things are not going to get done, right? So we need you to be healthy and strong and confident and just really excited about what you're doing for yourself, so then that can show up in other areas of your life times 10. So when you are have a difficult time setting boundaries for yourself, I want you to look at that. Look at how maybe you're possibly putting other people ahead of you, which is now making you feel like, well, I'm just going to buy myself something. I'm not going to set any boundaries with myself. I'm going to do whatever I want. And then it disrupts your money plan, your goals that you have set for yourself. So look at that. And it's okay if you find that you're doing more for people and maybe now it's time to make some adjustments. Do a little bit of adjustments. It's okay to say no, right? So maybe the next time someone asks you to do something, and your first thought is no, but usually what comes out of your mouth is yes, I want you to pause, right? And just say, let me think about it, right? That is going to give you time to not say yes so quickly, right? But it's also going to give you time to really evaluate what that yes is going to look like. What is that commitment that you're making by saying yes to someone for something that you really want to say no to, right? When normally you would say yes, right? Do you really want to do it? If not, then say, let me think about it. That's going to give you some time. That's going to get them off your back so you don't feel pressured to say yes. And now, if you really feel like, you know what, I don't want to do this, now I want you to say no and see how that feels. At first, you're going to feel a little like icky inside. Believe me, I know, right? You're going to feel maybe guilty, or you're going to feel like, well, maybe I can fit it in. No. I'm telling you now, no. Don't do it. Because what is that doing? That is breaking a boundary that you have for yourself. So maybe you've already told yourself, I'm blocking my calendar off for the last month of October, right? And then someone comes and they say, oh, can we book appointment on that last month of October, because the rest of the month just doesn't work for me, and I'm open all of the last week in October. I want you to say, let me think about it, right? If you can't immediately say no, say, let me think about it. And then from there, you can respond to the email, call them back, however you guys are communicating, and say, you know what, I actually have that week blocked off. So how about we find another week in November that works best for the both of us? Because now you are keeping that commitment for yourself, the boundaries that you have set for outside people and to yourself, because you told yourself you were not going to take any clients or appointments the last month of October. And now you are going to start feeling so much more confident, not just in your finances, right? This feeds over into every other area in your life. Now, those yeses that maybe you say at work are going to turn into the either hold on, let me think about it, or the you know what, no, that doesn't work for me. How about we do something different, right? The same thing with your kids. They're going to come up to you and they're going to say, Mom, can we go to the movies, right? Or whatever the kids say, whatever. My son, he don't want to go anywhere. He just wants to stay in the house. But right, like your kids are going to come and ask you for something. And if it's a no, because Saturday was your day, you were going to relax, you were going to stay in the house, you were really excited about just doing nothing. And the kids come up to you and ask you, can we go? Say, you know what? How about this weekend or this Saturday, we just stay in the house and relax. And you know what? On Sunday, we can do whatever, right? Or I promise you next week, Saturday, we can do this, right? Keep your commitments to yourself, keep your boundaries that you have put in place and follow through on them, because that is going to show up and allow you to show up more powerfully in every area of your life. And again, that's going to feed over into your finances. So now when you're having those moments where you're telling yourself, I want to go shopping, and you know that, let's say you have $500 to shop, if you get to that $500 and you're about to spend over, now you can say, no, 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 no. No, we're not going to do that. We made a commitment to only spend $500. So we're going to wait until next month because I'm honoring my commitments to myself. And then vice versa with people outside of yourself. So I hope that helped you, because your boundaries are really going to increase your net worth. And if you got anything out of that, put it in the comments, right? Also, direct message me and let's talk about what that looks for you. And if anything has come up as I was talking and you're like, oh man, ouch, 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 I need to address that, because I really want to know how I can support you, right? And again, what has come up for you, because we can chat about, how you can work through setting those boundaries. And if you're someone who needs a little more support other than just a quick DM chat, then I invite you to apply to work with me, and we can talk about where you are, where you're going, and if I'm the right person to support you through that journey. The call is a 20-minute call, and it's us really getting clear on where you are and where you want to be. And we can talk about what it looks like to work together one-to-one if it is a good fit for both of us, right? But again, put in the comments what came up for you. And if you have a difficult time setting boundaries, what are some changes that you feel confident enough to make on your own so that you can really stick to those boundaries and keep your commitments to yourself? All right, y'all. Later.